Hello and welcome. Tonight, the war on corruption has taken a new turn. Or has it? Earlier today, the president announced sweeping measures that he hopes will finally slay the dragon of corruption in Kenya. Here now are some of the key developments today. President Kenyatta's statement included tough new measures meant to curb private sector-induced corruption that include blacklisting of companies that overcharge the government or delay services. The president in the same breath declared corruption a national security threat. And from next year, Kenya's national values contained in Chapter 6 of the Constitution will be taught and examined in schools. All these happened as the president sent to Parliament the names of 5 nominees for commissioners at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Our coverage of these key developments starts now. As we mentioned, Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has announced what could go down as his most drastic set of steps to deal with corruption. The president rallied all arms of government to fight the vice that has already claimed 1/3 of his cabinet. He urged religious leaders to declare corruption a sin against God and humanity. KTN's news editor Aaron Ocheng begins our coverage of Graft Diaries.
Just days after losing perhaps one of his most powerful cabinet secretaries following excessive pressure on her to quit the cabinet on corruption allegations, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta came out fighting against wide criticism that he had lost grip on the fight against graft by declaring it a threat to national security.
We have agreed also that any business that fails to comply with the code will be disqualified from doing business with government for a period of not less than 5 years, and that information will be made public.
Uhuru says he will personally spearhead the fight that will also go after proceeds of corruption stored offshore. He also spelled out a raft of measures that he hopes will rein in corruption in East Africa's largest economy, including lifestyle audit of its employees and a string of requirements for firms doing business with the government.
Private sector must play their role as well. For every taker, there is a giver. And as we heard last week, 70% of corruption in our country is basically in the procurement department. And the procurement department involves none other, because government does not do business with itself, it does business with the private sector.
The country will also move to seize assets from public officers found guilty of corruption, while whistleblowers will also be protected. The country's Chief Justice said a special court will be set up to try cases of corruption, as the country's Senate Speaker termed the report's recommendations a turning point for the Republic.
It is in the national interest that we do that. And what we've done is, under the structure we call the National Council for the Administration of Justice, we have come together, the investigators, the prosecutors, and the judiciary.
The struggle for a better Kenya began with the development aspects. We went into the constitutional reform, and as some of the issues of post-election violence, we committed ourselves to the long-term agenda, which is Agenda 4.
We believe that for this fight to succeed, we require everybody. It's a complex problem, it's systemic, it has grown into a culture. Therefore, we require the goodwill and the support of all stakeholders.
Uhuru also urged innovation in the anti-corruption fight. The government, Uhuru said, will also not buy goods and services above market rates, in reference to service providers who have minted millions while fleecing the exchequer. He also promised that government would settle its debts promptly to cut out graft and avenues for rent seeking, while introducing penalties for delays in meeting service deadlines. Aaron Ocheng, KTN News.